Hello, and welcome to PBL Scenario C Subtask 4 for the course AEDT 1120U Foundations of Digital Teaching and Learning Technologies. Our group consists of Omar Lunin, Astina Mongru, and myself, Sharice Richards. The institution is the University of Ontario Institute of Technology. The professor is Roland van Oosteveen, and the facilitator is Todd Blaywin. The date of this presentation is Monday, November 27th, 2017. As you can see on the opening slide, the device choice that we've selected is the iPad with respect to adult learning. Presently, North American institutions centered around adult learning have made a large shift from solely industrialized-centered andragogies to a focus that is more technologically inclusive. This paradigm shift has impacted the world on a global scale in a way unlike any other before its time. Adult learners are now being facilitated in various ways that transcend previous brick-and-mortar learning institutions. The increased technological usage in adult learning has brought about new learning devices. Many of these learning devices and digital technologies have been reviewed by experts in the field of education. Educational experts vary in opinion with regards to these devices. The iPad, which stands for Interactive Personal Application Device, is one of the most frequently introduced digital devices in the field of education. Its polarizing viewpoints and rapid growth rate are two of the reasons that we selected this device. We believe that these occurrences showcase the importance of examining its place in adult learning. Analysis questions. Here are some ill-structured problems to consider. What are some of the problematic occurrences that cause educators to implement the iPad into adult learning facilities? What problems does implementation of the device remedy, specifically regarding adult learning? What problems could usage of the iPad in adult learning create? What learning theories can be best incorporated with usage of the iPad device? Why? Let's take a brief look at the history of the iPad. It was first released April 3rd, 2010. It's a product distributed by Apple, however, it's assembled by Foxconn. There are 5 iPad generations, and the 3rd generation is no longer manufactured. The 5th generation is referred to as the iPad Air. There is one iPad mini, but there are many variations. For example, some have Retina display. iPads vary in dimensions, color, price, and connective features. Here's a brief chart that you can look at on your own time if so desired. The link is provided at the bottom, showing all the different generations of the iPad, and it specifically points out things such as camera, connector size, weight, battery, colors, price. What are some advantages in using the iPad in adult learning? It's portable, faster speed, and increased productivity, facilitates asynchronous and synchronous online learning. It improves various skills and competencies simultaneously, provides real-world preparation, connectivity. It expands various networks internally and externally, less paper waste, and it's very compact with regards to data storage. However, what are some disadvantages to using the iPad in adult learning? It's very costly. There may be certain bugs that still need to be worked out, lack of memory space, low battery life, changes that may render the device obsolete, as Apple likes to be competitive, unwanted distractions, so for example, certain games that are not considered serious games, eye strain, and it may be a device that needs ergonomical improvement. HCHI model and technical competency. The HCHI model by Desjardins, Lacasse, and Belair was presented as a guide for ICT to show the synergistic interaction between the learner, the type of technology/device they may be using, and the systems themselves involved with the technology/device. There are 4 competencies that allow these components to work. The first is a technical competency. This order involves increasing the user's knowledge, competency, and skill in order to effectively use a technological device. With the iPad, the setup is as simple as turning the power button on. The device walks the user through startup, account setup for things like email and iCloud and security. The technical skills needed to use this device are minimal. In most of the applications, you can be walked through prior to getting further into the device. Social competency. Desjardins describes the social order's focus as the communication between learners through technological devices/affordances. With the iPad, documents and files can be sent easily between devices through AirDrop, email, or iMessage. Communication through internet access can include voice notes. Synchronous chat can be facilitated via tools like FaceTime or Skype, where users can communicate asynchronously on other sites. Facilitators should be wise, however, to select appropriate tools and apps in order to create an environment that promotes respect, safety, encourages rules and negotiation while fostering communication and establishing clear objectives. Informational competency. The informational orders, according to Desjardins, involves a combination of understanding theory and practical knowledge. This is a result of the following: gathering reliable and valid information, and how the learner critiques and validates credible sources in order to create their own. Surprisingly, the iPad is not a tool designed specifically for aggregation or fact searching. Rather, it's a tool to allow accessing information, communication, collaboration, and presentation, and sharing more efficiently. Epistemological competency. Desjardins describes the epistemological focus as assisting the user to virtually organize and problem solve. This allows the user to gain an understanding and to justify the use of certain tools and how they are used when undertaking projects. So, for example, using filters to sort information when working with spreadsheets to uncover underlying data that may have otherwise been missed. Learning theories, the relationship to the iPad and learning. Various studies show that usage of the device can encourage adult learner participation. This may be due to the fact that students are able to quickly research information on the internet. The internet supports seamless exchanging of information between members. Connectivism is a major learning theory in relation to examining this device. An adult learner is often required to be somewhat self-directed on their journey of searching and sharing information. The iPad, when used correctly, can promote collaboration and strengthen networks. Constructivism theory is also essential because adult learners often build on their own personal experiences when they come across digital data information. Connectivism comes into place when the data is stored and processed by these adult learners, resulting in long-term or short-term recollections, memories. There's more information on the slides that you can read if you so desire. We'll provide the link. In conclusion, what's the solution to the ill-structured problems? In conclusion, research surrounding ill-structured problems specific to the iPad's usage by adult learners proved several findings to be true. The results show that our hypothesis was correct. Thus, the predicted outcome of the iPad's usage in the field of adult learning is complex and a polarizing issue. Further in-depth research, andragogical practices, and facilitation for these learners to correctly use the device is required. The necessary steps must occur in order for findings to be considered sustainable. Completing this exercise, PBLC, was beneficial to the problem because it helps provide a basic starting point of discussion with regards to the device's place within the said field. At this time, we have a few synopsis questions. Going forward, what are some of the ways that problems caused by iPad usage can be alleviated with respect to the field of adult learning? How can adult educators structure epistemological order and manipulate the device to create more desired outcomes? Why do you think less reliance surrounding the use of educational devices such as iPad are beneficial to adult learning? We'd like to thank you at this time for